Hello, VC. Plastic Eric here. Plastic saw sound wave called blah, blah.
Hey, and welcome to a Thursday Collection Connection, where we're playing that game that's just an excuse to talk about records. It's a game I play with my brother, Plastic Eric, from the Plastic Soundwave Cult channel, and you can play along and follow along by subscribing to both channels. If the rules seem a little opaque to you, they're really not difficult, and you can read about them in the description. In Eric's last video, he showed Joy Division, the beginning of the end. It turns out that this was not an official release, which I sort of suspected, but it came from maybe the band themselves, but it was not on their label, so I was not able to queue it up on Apple Music or Spotify or even YouTube. It had a couple of different names. Maybe I looked for it under the wrong name. I found out that it was also referred to maybe in its initial release as Dead Souls, but it had a couple of other names. But nonetheless, I didn't get to listen to it. I do have Unknown Pleasures, so I queued that up instead, and just sort of confirmed to me that I'm more of a New Order guy than a Joy Division guy. I already knew that. I liked some of the more popular Joy Division tracks, but to me, New Order will always be my preference to listen to. Now, I thought it would be interesting if I could find an album that I owned that was not featured on any of the streaming platforms, but I couldn't come up with anything easily, and so I kind of gave that up. But let that serve as a reminder to you kids that not all music is available everywhere all the time. So it is an argument for physical copies of things. Nonetheless, what I decided to go with is the fact that they're a Manchester band, and looking at the list of Manchester bands, you could almost, you could have a pretty damn good collection if you had to limit your collection to the output of one city or possibly county. Manchester would not be a bad way to go. So not to mention three of my favorite bands, those being New Order, The Smiths, and Elbow, coming out of Manchester. There's a plethora of names: Stone Roses, Happy Mondays, In Spiral Carpets, James, Doves, any number of bands that I own music by and enjoy, in addition to those three tippy top favorites of mine. And honestly, I could have done any of them for this connection, but I decided to hit an outlier. It didn't make all the Manchester band list because I think they are more in the greater Manchester area than Manchester City specifically. But shoot, you can't think of Manchester without thinking of the Ting Tings. We Started Nothing from 2007. Gosh, I try to have so many things in my head. I'm not sure what the year is. I can't read the writing. But it's about 2007-ish. I'll have the right number on the inlay there. Fun band, fun album. It was a duo, just a man and a woman. And I think they put out, I know they put out at least one more album. I think maybe a couple more albums. I was turned on to it by one of those Apple iPod ads from the 2000s. And that was not the only song or band that I was introduced to through that format. The Fratellis are another one. Asteroid Galaxy Tour. Is that it? Around the Bend, that one. And I think a couple others besides. It was a great way to get some exposure in the 2000s, some iconic iPod ads from Apple. But in addition to that, for which the song Shut Up and Let Me Go was featured, they also scored a pretty big hit with That's Not My Name, which was parodied, I believe, in Horrible Bosses. They sang it, kind of almost making fun of it a few years later, but it's a catchy damn tune. almost a cheerleadery style, like Tony Basil, Mickey's. The whole record, so it's quite a bit of fun to listen to. Fruit Machine is a great track, and what's it? Great DJ. Lots of stuff. It's very of its time, but it's still fun to listen to. I just thought it would be fun to pick something off the beaten track when Manchester gave rise to so many iconic bands that I love and own music by. I thought I would pick this little outlier. There's definitely a lot of fun to listen to. Definitely a lot of fun to pull single tracks from and throw them on playlists. So not a great enduring band, but they had their moment, and I bought the album, and I like it. So with that, I will throw it over to Eric, and you can look for his response on Monday. Again, his channel is the Plastic Soundwave Cult. As for me, I'll be back next Thursday, so you can look for me then. And until then, and until next time, bye-bye.